not be supplanted, but that would be exalted in this time and this hour. That would be their replacements, but not their replacements in a negative way, but in a positive way. To bring real peace on earth, to bring real peace in the black community, to bring real peace in the streets, to bring real peace to the state, to this country. And so in the words of Dr. King, the so-called revolutionaries have now become the arch anti-revolutionaries. And this is what we're looking at right now. But let me come back to the lines. 410-761-1592. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the State of the City.
I don't know, Brother Muhammad. I know that was a test run in Boston for something.
Yeah. Oh, big time test run. Big time test run.
Dogs that can spit bombs. They should send them dogs to China so those people can eat.
Well, but not only send them to China. This is like September 11, 2001. Nobody got fired. So here go the same FBI Mueller that's still there with these stand down orders in place as they did September the 11th. That's what I'm saying. That everybody, all this Homeland Security money, which is stealing money from the American people, going to the FBI. They got the biggest budget, biggest military industrial complex budget in the history of the United States under this current president, and they can't find an ant under a rock, brother.
They can't find an ant under a rock.
Which means they want chaos to rule inside this country to take away more of the American people's rights. Obama's not going to hold nobody responsible. He covered up Operation Fast and Furious, Operation Wide Receiver, which they were moving guns into Mexico, right?
That's right.
So if he didn't hold...
Obama, and I don't understand, if Obama's a fair man, which he's not, when he goes to Israel and kiss their tail, why don't he go see the Arab people as well?
Well, he did do that, brother. He did only the Saudis.
Down with him and really talk to him.
Right. Only the Saudis is he did that to, brother. We know the Saudis...
I don't count them.
The Saudis have always...
Right. We pay the Saudis.
Right. Well, the Saudis have always been a vassal for Britain, particularly, and then America. So we clearly know anything that the Saudis are doing is what the British want them to do. So when you hear them talking about these young brothers were tied to the Wahhabis, that's Saudi Arabia money. As we saw on September 11th, that was Saudi Arabia money, which means that's British money. And so we still see the same, ingredients, and we still see the same players around September the 11th. And then to see this uncle who is tied to the Clintons, and, what's that group Clinton got? The not the International Crisis Group, Clinton Global Initiative, and then the other one, I think, with Madeleine Albright. So all of them are tied into what we saw in Boston and what we will continue to see right now, brother. All right?
All right. Thanks for having a living legend on, too. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're quite welcome, brother. He'll be joining us back in the studio, do a part 2. Appreciate your call. All right. We'll take more of your calls. 410-761-1592. That was an excellent interview. I think I heard Wayne Mattson on with Alex Jones yesterday. And Wayne Mattson, you can read his report, WMR, Wayne Mattson. He was the one that blew the whistle and exposed the covers on Barack Obama, about Barack Obama being CIA agent when he was in college. When he was in college, his mama was CIA, father was CIA, Sotoro, and what's the Kenyan one? Obama Sr., CIA. You can read about it. All you do is Google it. It's information. Wayne Mattson wrote this in the Cross Creek, I think it was called the Cross Creek newspaper, something Creek. In Washington, D.C. and Tacoma Park is where that paper came out. It's folded up over the last year. But he put that out there a long time ago about Barack Obama. So don't get upset with me. But this is what we have. But Wayne Mattson did an excellent job, again, talking about immigration and how the issue of immigration, which is front and center again, and how those who were brought in from Chechnya, brought in from Kyrgyzstan, and right now Kyrgyzstan, which is one of the drop-off points for American troops going into Central Asia, into Afghanistan, one of their supply routes, that base and their contract ends. Their base and their contract ends this year or 2014, and they've been telling America, we want you out of our country. So you think they may send your sons and daughters to Kyrgyzstan or Kazakhstan, which the fathers or the uncle of the Naziv's brothers is heavily tied to the government of Kazakhstan, which of course all this is about oil. And you remember Obama's handler, one of them is George Soros, the other one is Zbigniew Brzezinski, who talked about and wrote the book, The Grand Chessboard, and that one of the last fights for America would be in Central Asia because of the enormous amount of natural gas and oil and lithium and other, of course, elements that America needs. But around that issue of immigration, if you listen to what Wayne Mattson talked about, he connected the dots from Boston and talked about, again, the brothers and the family being from that part of Chechnya, but being from, again, Kyrgyzstan, and how they got to Washington, D.C. and Boston, thanks to the law firm of the brother-in-law, what was his name? Captain Shriver of the Kennedy family, and John McCain. And so to hear John McCain say that this young man should be held as an enemy combatant and take him to a military court because they don't want the information to get out regarding what really happened and how this family and how many of them were brought into America, how they were brought into America, and which one of your politicians and many of them helped him to get there to America. But you can Google Big Sky Corporation, and Big Sky Corporation and that uncle of these young men tied to Big Sky. Also, he worked for Arthur Anderson, and I believe the holding company of Arthur Anderson is in Little Rock, Arkansas. That should ring a name for you. Little Rock, Arkansas, where your president, Slick Willie, Bubba, and Hillary, Kill Bill, whatever it is. That's where they're from, Little Rock, Arkansas. You can Google Hillary Clinton in Kazakhstan. Google the Clintons. And you'll see how deep this rabbit hole runs, man. But let me come back to the line, take a few more calls so we begin to wrap up. Because you don't know how wicked this government is and those who are politicians within this government are. They have no qualms about killing you and your children and your people. They have no qualms about that. And allowing others or loosening others inside of this country to kill you. You don't know. You can't fathom the wickedness of these satanic forces and what they're willing to do. Boston was a prelude. September the 11th was a prelude to show you what they're willing to do. You haven't figured that out by now. They're going to try to play on your petty nationalism to make you think if it's a black that you think is a white man that did it. And some of you so caught up in your tribalisms and isms and asms and scasms, only thing you worried about, whoo, I'm glad it wasn't a brother. Whoo, I'm glad it wasn't a sister. When if you're white, I'm glad it wasn't a white guy. It was an Arab. Thank God. It was a Muslim, a radical Muslim. Thank God. Now you can use your petty nationalism and they can rally you around the flag, and then you will send your children into a foreign country to die for a multinational corporation that only is upset because they didn't get some fat ass oil contract. That's it. That's all it's about. Some oil contract, some diamond contract that they want over there. Some mining contract that they want. These economic hitmen that they won't go fight. But they want you and your children, and you give them to them, then come back home physically handicapped, psychologically deranged. Then you ask, you want to know what happened to them. They wrap them up in the flag, which they make a rag. And when they come back, they can't even get a bag. They can't even get a bag except a body bag. They can't get that. We come back to the line, take a few more of your calls, and then we're going to wrap up. But I'll continue to go deep into this, man. But all of this information is out here. You sitting around just watching CNN. You sitting around here just watching CBS. You watch PBS and get more information. You can watch PBS and get more information. All this information out here, you better wake up, man. The life you save may be yours and your entire neighborhood when you look at what they just pulled off in Boston. And they got 77 fusion centers open around this country. They got FEMA camps open up around this country. You can disappear and you'll be a blip on the screen, on TV. You won't even be a hiccup on the screen, on CNN or one of these other major news media outlets. That's why this country and those who are supposed to be government representing this country, higher levels, has to be charged for war crimes for what they've done in other countries that you know nothing about and don't want to know. Don't want to know because the Major League Baseball season is going on. NBA playoffs is going on. NASCAR is going on. Tiger Woods is on the course. So you have to accept whatever comes back your way, because once you're allowed to go over there and you say nothing and do nothing, then you're just as guilty of those who are doing it. And you don't speak against it, raise any opposition to it. And when those that do, like myself, then you want to condemn me. What you got against the president? What you got against the vice president? What you got against God is what I'm going to ask you. What you got against peace? What do you got against innocence? What you got against the planet Earth for those of us who want to live in peace, fool? What do you got with righteousness? Dad, let me come back to the line, then we getting up out of here. Good afternoon, caller. You on the State of the City.
Good afternoon, Brother Muhammad. Very quickly, we have a lot of these so-called PhDs, doctorate, intelligent people we have in our community, and this information is so simple. I mean, the trail runs deep, but it's really not that deep. You've seen this script before, right, brother?
Yes, sir.
I was just debating with a brother today, and I told him, I said, listen, man, you're not going to get the story from CNN, Fox, CBS, and all these other people. You got to get unglued from this mainstream corporate control media.
Unplug from the matrix, brother.
And catch the shock of your life if that's what it takes.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying, brother? And on another hand, I just wanted to note, I've been trying to reach the Honorable Delegate Joe Carter in our office.
Right.
For some reason, the lines are twisted.
Okay. Call me after the show. I'll get you a number, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for your call, brother.
All right, brother.
All right. We got to begin to wrap up, man. Get up out of here and make way for the show and the flow coming behind us. But again, we dedicate this track, man, for those that do want to live on peace on this earth and understand the importance of Earth Day, not just one day a year, but every day of the year in terms of, again, protecting this earth. But we got to protect the people and the children that live on the earth, man. That's what we have to do. So we're going to wrap up, get up out of here, and thank our sponsors tomorrow. Again, we'll be back here tomorrow at 12 noon. So until then, we'll podcast the show on Spreaker, podcast the show on Twitter, podcast the show on Facebook as well. So to get a copy of the show, give me a call, 410-878-5298. We'll come back over the next couple of days and just give you nothing but websites and give you, again, newspapers that you can read to get more information regarding all that you think you know regarding Boston as we continue to pull off these covers, pull off the masquerade, and again, connect the dots, reveal the plot. So be safe. It is still, of course, this bail time or bailing time of the year for those. So these next 13 days, these satanic forces. So remember that. Watch your whereabouts. Be vigilant. And look out for our men. Look out for our women. Look out for our children. Look out for one another. God bless. All the best. Until tomorrow at 12 noon. Peace.
Of history. Life songs of ages throbbing in my blood have danced to the rhythm of the tide and flood. Your misty misty clouds, your electric storm, were turbulent tempest in my own form. I've licked the salt, the bitter, the sweet, of every encounter, of passion, of heat. Your riotous color, your fragrance, your taste, have thrilled my senses beyond all haste. In your beauty, I've known the how of timeless bliss, this moment and now.